Hey, welcome back to EHS Simplified, our new training session. So today we talk about that JSA, which is job safety analysis, step by step. Let's go. So why the job safeties matter? Most workplace incidents are preventable. The JSA, the job safety analysis, closes this gap between the policy and what actually happens on the ground. Because we know all the policy, but it's never follow the policy what is actually happening on the ground. So when we make the job safety analysis, it will definitely, whatever the gap, it will be fulfilled. So every layer of the safety management system, policy, training, metrics, audit programs, in incident, the JSA is direct. The documents, a supervisory works through this with the crew before the first lift of the day. When the JSA is well written and honestly walked through, hazards get raised and controls get implemented and incident gets prevented. When it is copied from the week and signed without reading, it is the paperwork basically. So address of the safety, the JSA is the first document an investigator asks for after an incident. A sign, date, hazard mapping. JSA is a strong defense and a blank and generic one to aggregating this factor OHS. So now we talk about different terminologies like JSA, JHA, THA, AHA. So what is that? So JHA is a job safety analysis. Sorry, job hazard analysis. So job hazard analysis is officially term and it is the OSHA standard. And it is all industry they follow, and obviously the OSHA official they are followed the JHA, job hazard analysis. The second thing is job safety analysis, JSA. The most common and construction, manufacturing, oil and gas indicate format and purpose of this JHA. So construction and manufacturing, oil and gas, obviously they are using the JSA. THA, what is THA? The task hazard analysis. So the task hazard that used in particularly the oil and gas, and particularly for the turnaround that shutdown work related, what is turnaround, what is shutdown. So it's a task. If that specific task is required, so that over there THA is worked. AHA is activity hazard analysis. So extent of JSA and JHA with the additional requirement with UPACE and DOD contract, RAC metrics, and content person designated for formal sign. So this course or this training or this awareness session will structure by step, hazard, and control. Like that way we will go. So the JSA process, when to conduct a JSA. JSA is most valuable before the incident happens, not after. So we want to do before that, not after. So one step is like high risk and unfamiliar task. That before, if it is going to start, before performing this task with this hazard performance or one that work have not yet done before, so that time JSA is required. So trigger 2, option 2, new equipment or procedures. When the introducing the new equipment, procedure, or changed site conditions that alter the hazard profile. After accident or near miss, revise a existing JSA immediately after any incident or near miss to prevent recurrence. Safety audit and inspection. During a periodic safety audits and formal site inspection to validate that controls remain current. Onboarding new employee, when they're assigning a worker to task they have not previously performed, even if other have. So that kind of conditions, when it is applied, we have to conduct a JSA. So we'll go now step by step. Step 1 is select the right job. Step 2 is breakdown. Step 3 is identify the hazard or like risk gap. And if step 4 is a control. So step right job. Not every task needs a JSA. Prioritize. It's not like that. JSA. Okay, we need to do the JSA. Okay, whatever we are doing right now, we will do the JSA. No, not that. Not every task. prioritize where the high risk is slightly higher or maybe higher. So high injury or near miss route, select the jobs with the documented history of injuries, incidents, or near misses, past harm, periodic future risk. That time is really required. A complex, hazardous, or unusual, select jobs involving complex procedures, hazardous equipment, or unusual site environments where that standardized precautions may not apply. New or recently changed, select the job that are new at the site or have recently changed the procedure, equipment, or the personnel. Sorry. Existing JSA may not no longer apply. We have to remove and prioritize systematically. Rank candidate task using frequency severity metrics before deciding which analysis first highest production goes fast, basically. So um, practical tips: not all the job needs full JSA. Start where the risk is highest and build your library over time, and target tasks that be performed regular with a high consequence potential first. Step 2: break the job into a sequential flow. So how it will break? Step by step, sit up that ladder, climb up the work level, performing the task at height, descending, and store equipment. If we break like this way, so list each section in the order performed, aim 8 to 15 step per task. Avoid steps basically, so board them height hazard, so being work or so narrow they created. Involve that worker who actually do the job. They know non-obvious hazard also. So we can't think about, because they are on the ground. They know more than us. Okay, so then you should involve them. It should not be paperwork. You should interview and you should involve them as well. Step 3: identify the hazard at each step. Hazard identification is an intellectual core JSA. This is where the generic forms fails and a site specific knowledge wins. One is as physical: falling objects, sharp tools, stuck by, caught, and working at heights. Chemical: toxic fumes, skin, eye, contact with hazardous substance. Ergonomics: awkward posture, respective motions, manual material handling. Biological environment: heat stress, mold, bacteria, outdoor exposure, electrical hazard, energized equipment, onboard power plant, arc flash, etc. A JSA for working at height is too broad. A JHA is intellecting HVAC of a roof mounting platforming using the senior lift specific enough to identify the real hazard. Step 4: determine a control using. So most important, PP is not our first answer. When we do for the hierarchy, we should start with the elimination. Elimination: remove the hazard entirely, hides the effective non-residential risk. Second is substitution: replace with a safer material, process, or equipment. Engineering control, guards, barrier, ventilations, administrative control, training, signage, shift, different. PP is obviously helmet, gloves, but fall harvested. But I must say, when we talk about the precaution part, we think about the PP. Why? We start with the elimination. The PP is the last option. Okay, so that we need to find out, that we need to understand. Next is a real world example: crane operations. So we'll go by step, hazard, and control. One is a step: inspection, crane, and rigging. And hazard is undetected equipment defects. Control is certified pre-use inspection checklist, remove the detective equipment from the service. Position and outright setup. Ground instability, crane tie over. Soil bringing capacity check, engineering outrigging pads. Lift execution: electricians from overhead power lines dropped load. Establish execution zone, tagline use, spotted communication protocol, dismantling and backup. That is also most important. So we understand that work is done, so that's over. No, not like that. Stuck by pinch out, exclusive zone mentoring, 2% procedure for compound handling. Okay, so outcome is leading construction firm that integrated comprehensive task specific JSA into their daily workflow reported significant reduced in a crane related incidents. Common mistake that kills the JSA effectiveness. A bad JSA creates an illumination of a safety while providing none of this practice protection. One, writing JSA to satisfy an audit rather than guide the worker going into the job. Word generic and trick and provide no real guidance. Step beginning stack, hazard, injury controls where PP. That's all. No, not like that. Copying the last week JSA without reviewing for changed condition, new personnel, or the update procedure. That is also important. Even no worker inputs. The people doing the job, no non-obedience hazard. Desk written JSA will definitely miss. If I'm not working that job, how can I know that job specific hazard? Not reviewing or revising after a near miss or incident. Supervisor sign without reviewing the workers sign without understand. So it's all related. It's look like all related the paperwork we need to do for the sake of compliance we have to do. No, not related that. If we are really doing, if we are still really doing, you can understand if where you are and what you are doing basically. JSA in practice, making it stick. So a JSA that is not used in a field is not a safety tools, it is liability documents. Conduct a JSA briefing with a crew at the workstation worksite immediately before the work begins, not in the office the day before. Assign the responsibility for each control measures, state who implemented and who verifies. Review cycle update when the job changes after every incident near miss and at a minimum annually. Digital JSA tools enable a real-time update, crew sign-off, and site-specific photo documentation, improving the field adoption and various the paper only system. JSA double as a training, documentation, and the worker new at a task and as a documented baseline or incident investigation. OSHA compliance 29 CFR 2019 1910 132D requires the written confident certification of PPE, hazard assessment, and a task level JSA, the standard way the employee satisfy this. So that is the most vital things now you can understand and how you can do that. Hope it is helping you. You request if it is possible. If you like that, please let me know and do like, share, comment, and share awareness this each and everyone they should know whosoever in this industry and whosoever in wanna come this industry. Okay, let me know if you need any specific topic or any specific things you want to do or discuss. Comment me, subscribe this channel. Thank you.